Oh, all right. Okay.
Yep.
All right, they got a curfew in the National League.
Didn't you see that? Gene Michaels checked the other night.
Did he? That's right. Yeah, bed check. Yeah, he did have a curfew, didn't he?
The stick.
Oh, the stick. You know, what if the stick was serious? I wonder how the stick would have made it. I won't say that. He may be listening. We're in the bottom half of the third. A ball and a strike on Lee Lacy. Lacy is hitting .240. Floyd Bannister has retired the first 6 men. 4 grounders and 2 fly balls. Off the hands and grounded right to Ginn. Ozzie throws in plenty of time. 3 assists now for Ginn. And the catcher, Terry Kennedy. You know, when Rex Barney is working the PA system here as he is tonight, he may be one of the hardest working PA men anywhere in baseball. He really puts a lot into it. Thank you. Fastball for a strike to Terry Kennedy.
Well, I'll tell you, he might be one of the hardest working now. He was one of the hardest throwers in his day. I can tell you that.
And I would say if the strike zone was high and outside, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Ball and a strike. I just have received a letter. I didn't know anybody knew I was here.
It's a bill from last trip.
It might be. Foul back, 1-1.
They caught up with you.
I'm afraid to open it now. Here, you open it for me.
No.
I got it open. It didn't blow up. Ground ball to third. And the throw to first base gets him. Steve Lyons throws him out. So the last 5 outs have been on ground balls. 2 to Lyons and 3 to Ginn. Would you mention my son's birthday on your broadcast today, July 7th? My son's name is Jason Allendorf from Joliet, Illinois. No, I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's not allowed.
Who's it from?
David Allendorf.
Oh, okay.
That's Jason's daddy from Joliet.
There you go. Boy, you're a smooth talker.
Cut across the field, Shorty. Ken Gerhardt. Smooth talker. Gerhardt's hitting .247. 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. You can tell the Sox are leading 3-0. A little levity in the booth. Out toward right center field, but on the move, Calderon, and makes the play. That's probably the hardest hit ball in the air so far off Bannister. At the end of 3, the Sox 3, the Orioles nothing.
Hernandez wearing a 4 collar tonight, 0 for 4. You don't like those odds, do you? Strike called, 0-1. Grounded out, hit into a double play, struck out and flied to deep center. He's looking for a pitch up where he can at least get a sacrifice fly. That's a sac fly. Might be more. James at the wall. Coming in easily to score is Mazzilli. Another run in, that makes it 6. He hammered that ball to the long part of this park. Over to third went Mookie. Backman held on at first. And the batter is Gary Carter, the 8th batter in this inning. Three runs in at 6-2. Larry Mack with the pitch. Swung on, missed, 0-1. McDowell continues to throw in their bullpen. He will pitch the bottom of the ninth. You can see him still loosening. Doesn't take too much to get loose today. Temperatures are around 90 during the day. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron Darling pitches the second game, and Randy O'Neal goes for Atlanta. Little pop. Benedict may have a play. Let's watch. Yes. Nice catch, Bruce Benedict. But it might be too late. As we go to the bottom of the ninth, it's 6-2, New York. Here's McDowell in search of his 11th save. The ERA is high for him. He's been a good pitcher for New York. But he hasn't been here all year. He was on a disabled list early in the season. Benedict leads it off. McDowell kind of comes right at you. In other words, hit it if you can.
He's got a sinker ball that he never had until he had an elbow operation. In the minor leagues, he had an elbow operation. Came back the following year, and all of a sudden, everything he threw had a natural sinking motion to it, which it didn't have before.
Big year last year. 14 wins, 9 losses, and 22 saves. That's over third for Benedict. Going to be a single. Johnson got a glove on it. Benedict's got a single. Now Hubbard. Hubbard has walked, grounded out twice. Benedict at first is now 1 for 2. He walked a couple of times. Ted Simmons grabs a bat. He will hit for the pitcher. Outside. McDowell can't pick up a save. The lead is too great. It's 4 runs. If it were 3 or less, he could pick up a save in his appearance.
Well, they're at it in Cleveland. That game being delayed by a bench-clearing brawl. Willie Wilson knocked down by a Ken Schramm pitch during his at-bat, and he charged the mound.
I think it's become a macho thing where the batter says, you throw at me, I'm going to come after you. We've seen just so much of it. 2 balls and 1 strike. A hit to right field. Hubbard got that off the end of the bat. Somehow worked it through. And the Braves have 2 on and nobody out.
Here you'll see that sinking motion on the McDowell pitch. Hubbard really went down and got it. Right off the end of the bat, but enough to get it through into right field. So the first 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the ninth, and that's what the Braves need. Some base runners and then somebody to hit one out.
James is on deck. It's a 4-run lead for New York. Fastball high. 1-0. The Braves had cut it to a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. Fly ball center. I don't know. Can anybody catch up? Santana can. Wilson, playing deep, wouldn't have been able to make that catch. Rafael Santana makes it 1 out. If New York hadn't scored in the top of the ninth. There's a lot of ifs in a game of baseball. As Milo used to say, if your Aunt Minnie had a mustache, she'd be your Uncle Fred. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's a good shot of that sinker, Pete. That ball really went down.
And he really has no explanation for it. He just said that he came back from that surgery after having decent minor league records year after year, and all of a sudden he had that pitch.
It's a great pitch for a relief pitcher because you need ground balls. The Braves with 10 hits tonight scored only 2 runs. James hit safely his first 2 times up, a single, double, then he walked and flied to center. This time he grounds it to Hernandez, who gets it to the pitcher on time. 2 away. And the game of baseball becomes more frustrating for number 7 and his team. Here's Andres Thomas. Hubbard's at second base. Benedict is at third. Pitch to Thomas. Look at that ball go down. And that's a natural sinker. That has no foreign substance on it. 0-1. Don't forget, another game to follow. We'll have about a 20-minute break or so. We'll send you back to CNN headline news and then back to the ballpark. Carter is going to let it roll foul. Randy O'Neal pitches the second game. He beat the Mets earlier in the year. He'll be opposed by Ron Darling. Crowd of 15 to 20,000 looking on here tonight. The Braves are over the 700,000 mark in home attendance. There you catch a glimpse of them. Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. They've prettied it up in good shape. A new fence this year. New turf. But we're under 500. That's what hurts. And the pitch. That'll do it if Santana gets it to first. He does.
That's a ball, and the count is 2-0. Kansas City Royals have Al Diaz. Al was in Cleveland for our series there. Of course, the Sox go to New York next, which accounts for Cuccinello being here. 2-0 pitch. Just outside. Baines behind 3-0. It may be the first time tonight he's been behind a 3-0 count.
It has been.
Well, Cal Ripken has looked down to third base coach Jimmy Williams for a sign on 3-0. He takes ball 4 and becomes the first base runner. So Bannister had retired 11 men in a row until walking Ripken. And here's Eddie Murray. Murray went 2 for 3 last night. He grounded out his first at bat tonight. Murray a little more dangerous left-handed than right-handed, and has been that way throughout his career. But I tell you, this man is strong. You make a mistake and he can ride it out of the ballpark either way. Just like that. Just like that. Good try by Kenny Williams. When you make a mistake to Murray Dunn, I don't care what kind of a slump he's in, how long it's been since he has homered, and he will ride it out on you. That makes it 3-2. Sox lead by a run.
Well, there's a great effort by Kenny Williams. But the ball was just a little too high for him. There was a fastball right down Broadway. And he didn't miss it. Now he's strong, Frank, and he's strong from both sides. But watch the effort here by Kenny Williams. I thought for a moment he might have an outside shot. Look how high he goes up over that wall.
All-out effort, for sure.
I'll tell you, he has extended a full arm's length, half a body over that wall.
Ball is well over the wall. He had no chance, but he gave it quite an effort. I'll tell you something. You look at that Murray down there. Now, what does he think when he goes up there? Ripken has just walked on 4 pitches, becomes the first base runner. You know he's got to think fastball.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
That's what he thought, and he got it, and he drove it. So it's 3-2. The Sox are still leading. That was Murray's 17th home run, giving him 50 runs batted in, and the 24th homer hit off Bannister this year. So Murray now has homered in his last 3 games in a row. And Ray Knight sends it deep to left field, but caught by Ritas. 2 runs on a hit. No errors, none left. End of 4. Sox 3, Baltimore 2. Golf Umbrella Night. For tickets, call Ticketmaster 559-1212 and use your charge card, or stop by the Comiskey Park ticket office. Well, we've completed 4. Sox lead 3-2. Pair of 2-run homers, Fisk for the Sox, Murray for Baltimore. We go to the 5th and back to Don Drysdale.
All right, Frank, and it'll be Ozzie Guillen followed by Gary Ritas and then Harold Baines. That's a base hit and maybe extra bases down the line. Young moving in a hurry, trying to get away, and he can't get the rebound. Guillen to second, and he'll hold right there. I was just about ready to say that Corbett has gone through the lineup 1 time. Now we'll see what happens. That's the first hit off of Corbett. And it'll bring on Gary Ritas. Young tried as best he could to get over there before that ball hit that little concrete railing. He could not get over there in time. He got so close to the railing, and when it did, it bounced back by him, and that got Guillen to second. If he gets there before the railing, before the ball hits that railing, Guillen cannot go to second base.
Now, Young knows that, too. He's seen too many balls hit off that railing out there, Don. The way it is curved, the ball will take some strange bounces off of it, too. That's why it is so important to get to the ball before it hits it. You won't get a true bounce off that railing or that concrete base out there.
Here's Gary Ritas. Thinks about bunting, pulls back, and the count 1-0. They appeal. They want to appeal, and Mark Johnson said no. He pulled back. Don't worry about it. Ritas has bounced to second and bounced to third. Probably the biggest ground out was with runners at second and third, 3 runs in, 1 out, and when Ritas bounced tonight at third. Corbett checking Guillen. High bouncer up the middle. There's Wiggins. He'll go to first as Guillen goes to third. Well, Ritas gets the job done, and that'll bring on Harold Baines. Baines has singled and bounced to first. 1 for 2 tonight. And with a base hit, Harold's extended his hitting streak to 5 games, 11 of the last 12. Now Corbett out of the stretch. Breaking pitch down low, the count 1-0. Outfield deep to the right, and the infield about halfway. That's outside to count 2-0 with Calderon on deck. Right-hander and a left-hander, they get up and start to throw in that Baltimore bullpen. Bell and Arnold, boy, I'll tell you, you indeed need a scorecard now to see who's out there, as Kennedy wants to have a little chat with Corbett. And it might be just right here that they just don't want to give in to Baines. They're going to make him hit his pitch. Kinnunen and Arnold right now. Kinnunen just called up from Rochester. Arnold on the left, Kinnunen on the right. Scotty McGregor has agreed to go to Rochester. Way back, and this ball is long gone. Well, they weren't going to try and pitch around him. Baines hit it a ton. And it's 5-2 White Sox.
Well, Don, there's that 2-0 pitch. You get behind, come in. Hitter's looking for it, waiting for it. A man with as much power as Harold has. There goes again. That ball is going to be well up in the bleacher seats out in right field. Don, you know, that's another theory that comes to my mind. We talk about the home runs, and I think there's a lot of folks think the ball is livelier. I know you've expressed that thought. I have. But how about these pitchers, tentative pitchers, getting behind the count and having to come in? I think that's got a lot to do with it.
Calderon off the end of the bat, shallow right center, coming in a hurry. Lacy, and just makes a catch over the sliding Gerhardt. Well, you know, I just wonder if they went out there and talked that particular time, if they didn't talk about trying to get the ball up to Baines. And if that was the case, because that fastball was up, and it is awfully hard to ask a sinker ball pitcher to pitch up.
Well, he's going completely away from his strength.
Oh, I'll guarantee, and I can vouch for that. They will go an awful long way, and in a hurry.
Well, that one went a long way, and in a hurry.
Yes, it did. Walker bouncing to Murray, little in-between hop right there. He'll go to the bag, and the side retired, but the Sox come up with 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave nobody to the bottom of the 5th inning. Sox lead at 5-2.
The authority of the Chicago White Sox for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Chicago White Sox and Fox Television Stations Incorporated is prohibited. All right, here the Sox are leading 5-2. Oh, yeah, and you want a free Polaroid photo taken with your favorite White Sox player? You can have it done every weekend afternoon Sox home game. Sox players will be available beginning an hour and 15 minutes prior to the start of every weekend afternoon Sox home game to take their picture with you, courtesy of Polaroid and Kmart.
And here's Mike Young to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Young, Lacy, and Kennedy in that order. That's the right field, playable. Calderon is there. 1 pitch, 1 out to Lacy. Well, we understand that they had a little skirmish over in Cleveland tonight.
A skirmish in Cleveland?
With Kenny Strom and Willie Wilson. Evidently, Wilson went down on a pitch and then flied out. Instead of going, I guess, to first or whatever he did, he went after Strom, or went to first and then went after Strom.
Huh.
Here's Lacy as he takes low. One ball and no strikes to count.
You mean they had another battle of Lake Erie?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening on the lakefronts these days.
2-0.
Battle on the shores of Lake Michigan. Battle on the shores of Lake Erie.
That's to right field. Calderon moving over on the warning track. 2 outs. And that'll bring on Terry Kennedy. Well, I think it might be that the pitchers are starting to say, if I don't move a hitter off the plate a little bit, I'm going to get my brains beat out. And it's going to be a question of who gives in. Here's Terry Kennedy. He can't get the first pitch. Well, we saw that one by up in the press room today. We certainly hope Andre Dawson's okay. He must have been okay as he got up and went through a goal line stand to run after Eric Schau. That's low and inside, and we certainly do hope the big guy's all right.
Well, you got hit in the helmet or hit in the head? Or?
I'm not sure where it got him. But I still maintain 95% of your hitters today do not know how to get out of the way of an inside fastball. It is amazing how many of them will just drop the head exactly right into the pitch instead of spinning that left shoulder away from the pitcher and spinning out of the way. Boy, I'll tell you, if the pitchers are going to try and reestablish that inside part of the plate, Frank, I would have to think that if I was a major league manager, I'd have my coaches and whoever just say, boys, this is how you get out of the way. I don't want to get anybody hurt. That is down the left field line. Base hit. Reedus over in a hurry. Kennedy going to try and go for two. They got a shot, but it's offline. Good effort by Gary Reedus, but just too far in the corner. So the 2-out double.
Well, we'll look at it again. That ball's going to come right at you. Look out there. Good shot. And let's see how Reedus plays it there in the corner. He gets to it before it gets to the wall, braces himself off the wall, but then his throw a little offline. If he throws that ball right on the mark to Donnie Hill at second base, they might have a shot at Kennedy. 2-base hit for Terry and the second hit of the ball game for the Orioles.
Here's Ken Gerhardt. There's a strike and the count 0-1.
Who was that just over the weekend or the other within the last 2 or 3 days? Mark McGwire got hit with a pitch. He just threw the bat away, went down to first base, but Reggie Jackson charged him out.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Reggie went out.
For Gerhardt or himself? That's low and away, and the count 1-1.
Now, McGwire got hit with a pitch, but I think it was McGwire went down to first base. But Reggie went out after the pitcher. Yeah, saw that on one of the cable news shows or something.
Bouncer foul, so Bannister out in front 1-2. This is a big out for Floyd. That home run that Murray hit after 2 were out in the 4th inning, that was the 7th time that's happened this year to Floyd.
2-out homer?
2-out homer. So this is a little hurdle to get over right here, and I'm sure that's got to, those little things like that will stick in your mind if you're a pitcher. Fouled right side out of play, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes.
Seems that some pitchers, Don, on occasion will get the first 2 outs from an inning fairly easily and then get into trouble, then have trouble, a lot of trouble getting the 3rd out.
That's right. And I tell you, that can get to be a little psychological, Frank. I can remember one year when about 6 or 7 ball games, I'd go through the 4th inning okay. In the 5th inning, I had problems. Boy, you really got to bear down. I mean, it's in your mind. There's no question. You walk out there and you say, all right, donkey, it's the 5th inning. Let's go.
Uh-huh. You really have to kick yourself in the backside to
you'll
start it up again.
6 clubhouse meetings with yourself. That's hit to center, but
old timers game. Well, we got a new pitcher here for the Orioles, Tony Arnold. In 20 games, he has no record, no wins, no losses, an earned run average of 5.05. No saves. He's worked 41 innings, allowed 52 hits, 12 walks, 16 strikeouts. And you gather from those figures right there, you can be your own statistician just a bit. That shows you he has pitched mainly in middle or long relief. That many outings, no record, no saves. He hadn't been around at the start of any games nor at the finish of any games. So it's his job to come in and hold the other club. Young man is out of El Paso, Texas. Lives down in Irving, Texas. That's where the Texas Stadium is, in Irving.
That is true. Home of the Cowboys.
Home of the Cowboys.
Here's Carlton Fisk as we go to the 6th. It'll be Fisk, Hill, and Lyons. So you kind of get an idea what Cal Ripken was thinking about, that Corbett had gone through that lineup. And Arnold delivers a little bit low. The count 1-0. Pudge homered his first time at bat, his 9th home run of the year, 2 RBIs to give him 32, and he has bounced to short. He's 1 for 2. Minnesota leading the Yankees 4-0 in the 5th. Cleveland 2-1 over Kansas City. That's in the 4th. Fouled at the plate, and the count 1-1.
That is Tony Arnold. Don's another one of those kids that played down there at the University of Texas. They had some pretty good ball players there. He played with Spike Owen and the kid Calvin Schiraldi. Same team with them down at Texas.
Yeah, Roger Clemens out of there. Roger might have been there at the same time, because I think he was a teammate of Schiraldi's. There's a shot, base hit left field.
Well, Pudge is enjoying Baltimore. He had 2 hits last night. That's his 2nd hit tonight. The single to go along with his 2-run homer earlier.
That'll bring on Donnie Hill. Donnie 1 for 2 tonight with a run scored. On deck, Steve Lyons. 5-2 White Sox, top of the 6th. Trying to even the series at 1 with the final game tomorrow night. Takes a strike at the knees, and the count 0-1. After the game tomorrow night, Sox will move on to New York. Final 4 games of this road trip prior to the All-Star break. One ball and 1 strike. Well, I'll tell you, you can just look out and look at that haze and just look at that humidity.
You can see it, no question.
Not only see it, you can feel it. Whew. Bouncer back to Arnold. He will go to Ripken for 1, and they double him up. Now quickly 2 outs to Steve Lyons. I remember Dave Niehaus. We used to come in here, and Dave would sit over there. Of course, Dave, now the voice of the Seattle Mariners. He said, he said, it's not fat man's weather.
Not fat man's weather. Huh?
No. Here's Steve Lyons. That's foul left side. That was when Dave was a wee bit heavier than what he is now. He's in great shape now.
84th double play turned by the Orioles, by the way.
0-1 the count. Line foul, look out. 0-2 the count.
See, you and Dave worked together with the California Angels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the old professor, Richard Egnerb. Dick Enberg.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's fouled away. Well, what a life he's got. Spending a couple weeks over there at Wimbledon. Does a great job. Fun to listen to him.
Got very emotional when Pat Cash ran up through the stands.
Yeah, I
to hug
read
his
that.
Daddy.
And knowing Dick, I could see that.
Well, Dick explained it. He said he just recently lost his own father, and he is himself a father, and he said he could appreciate Cash's feelings. Very emotional moment. I think it was. I thought it was just great. I wondered where in the world Cash was going.
Yeah.
I thought he was either going after his paycheck or he had built up more expenses than he was going to have money to cover. I didn't know.
Bounce foul. Count remains 0-2.
But I think that is great. You know, you talk to so many athletes who say, I wish my dad had been around to see me do so and so. Let's take a look at Steve Lyon's swing. Big stride. Bat comes around, uppercut swing. And that was on that foul ball. Now back to live action.
A ball and 2 strikes a count. Now Steve was telling me his dad watches on the satellite.
Where are they?
You know, I didn't ask him, but I'm assuming it's out in Washington. That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Steve went to Oregon State. Bounced back to Arnold, so the Longhorn takes care of the Beaver. And the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
Does a pretty good job in the broadcast booth. This is Hernandez, who was hitless in the first game. That's a strike on a fastball.
You don't hold Keith Hernandez hitless 2 games in a row very often.
Lifetime batting average over 300. Dykstra could go at any time. A lot of these guys have permission to go anytime they feel they get a big enough jump. O'Neill trying to win his 4th game of the year. He hasn't been here all year. Breaking ball low. The Braves sent him to Richmond and called him back. They got him in a trade last winter in a deal with Detroit that sent Terry Harper over to Detroit. Harper has been dealt to Pittsburgh. There goes Dykstra. There goes the ball in the right center. They'll have runners at first and third. A single, soft single by Hernandez. What did you just get through saying?
You don't hold Keith Hernandez hitless
That's
2
what I
games
thought
in a
you
row
said.
very often. He's just too good a hitter to go hitless 2 games in a row very often. That pitch was a pretty good pitch. It was a split-fingered fastball, down and away.
McReynolds had a couple of hits in the first game. They move him around. He batted 6th in the first game. I can't get over Terry Leach. He didn't know if he's going to be playing for the Mets in spring training, and now he's 8-0. Hit foul, out of play. McReynolds at 283, 14 homers and 42 RBI. He has 81 hits. We're just underway in the second game. The Mets are threatening. They have runners on the corners with 1 down. Strawberry's on deck. High fly, right field. Well, let's watch this. Murphy's going to run in, grab it, and throw. Is he going to play? Nope, it's off target. Run scores easily. Dykstra scores from third. Murphy threw it all the way on the fly. Dykstra's fast, but the throw is off target. 1-0.
Murphy has the right idea. He backed up, got a running start, but the throw is just a little bit off target. Would have been a pretty close play had he got it on the plate. In fact, he might have had him had he got it on the plate. Dykstra was still 2 or 3 steps up the line.
1-0 New York. Strawberry the batter. So Dykstra did what he was supposed to do. Get on base and score a run. That's the job of the leadoff batter. Hernandez on the throw to the plate. Tagged at first and went to second. So Hernandez in scoring position for Darryl Strawberry. He picked up a couple of hits in the first game. Line to first. He hit that ball hard, but right at Gerald Berry. The Mets break on top. Atlanta coming to bat.
And along with Frank Messer, I'm Don Drysdale from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. We're through the first 6. The White Sox 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And for Baltimore, 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th. And once again, here's Frank.
Okay, Don, let's see. It's going to be Kenny Williams, then Ozzie Guillen and Gary Ritas for the Sox. The Sox lead at 5-2. 8 hits for the Sox, 2 for the Orioles. And Tony Arnold, the third Baltimore pitcher, hangs a curve, and it's in the air, right center field. That's going to be in for extra bases and bounces over a ground rule double. Kenny Williams has his second hit of the game. Well, I tell you, Arnold hung that one, and Kenny jumped all over it.
Now, the last time up, Kenny Williams just wanted to chew his batting helmet in two. He got a high sinker off of Corbett and flying to left. That time he didn't miss that hanging curveball at all. One hop over the wall.
So Williams with his 10th two-bagger at second base. Each of the last 3 innings and 4 of the 7 innings tonight, the Sox have had their leadoff man on. They led off the second with a base hit and scored 3 runs. They led off the 5th with a base hit and scored 2 runs. Ozzie bunts foul. They led off the 6th inning with a base hit, but Fisk was snuffed out in a double play, and now Williams has led off here with a double. Again, trying to move him over. Ozzie has flied to left, hit a sacrifice fly, and doubled. He scored a run and batted in a run.
Hey, slow it down out there. Hey, take your time. You're going too quick.
There's the bunt. It's going to be a good one. The only play will be first base, and they just barely get him. I'll tell you something, Ozzie came very close to beating that one out.
Well, it took the agility of that young man on the mound, Tony Arnold, to get over there. You couldn't have rolled it out there any better. But look how quickly he gets over there, sets, and a good strong throw to Eddie Murray. Boy, there's an excellent bunt. Look how far Arnold has to come for that ball, and indeed, Frank, they just do get him.
So again, credited with his second sacrifice, his first sacrifice hit, so to speak, and the other sacrifice fly to differentiate between the two. And Ritas up with the infield in. Fastball for a strike.
A couple of familiar names. Rochester defeated Columbus 6-4. Ken Dixon over Pete Filson.
How about that? Yeah, Ken Dixon with the Orioles, and Filson was with us last year, and now the Yankee chain. Bouncer back to the mound. The play will be at the plate. And Kenny Williams hung up between second and third, and he's out. And Ritas is down at first base.
Well, Artie Kushner was trying to get Ritas' attention. He knew there was going to be a rundown. Ritas got about 15 feet from first base and just kind of threw his head up in the air saying, oh no, look at the agility there once again. And there's a very quick tag. And Ritas did not see the play happening behind him, nor did he hear Kushner, so he just stays at first.
A fielder's choice, and you'll score it 1-2-5. Two outs, and Harold Baines, the batter. Baines has singled, grounded to first, and homered well up into the right field seats. The home run, his 11th of the year. 2 RBIs on the homer, giving him 44 for the season. And you recall that Baines missed all that time at the start of the year with the knee operation, after playing opening day and then undergoing arthroscopic surgery. Ball 1.
Now there's a case where Gary just kind of forgot himself right there. He was just so disgusted hitting that ball on the ground. He's hit the ball on the ground all 4 times tonight, and he never saw Kushner, never heard him or anything.
And on the rundown play, you can see Kenny Williams waving over there, trying to wave him, get his attention himself, and wave him on to second. Harold Baines in this ballpark hit his first major league home run. That was early in the 1980 season. He hit it right here in Baltimore, and he couldn't have gotten any closer to home to have hit his first major league homer. Baines from down in Easton, Maryland. I believe his family lives St. Michael's now. It's a lovely, lovely spot between here and the shore. Just an ideal location. Another pitch out. They've done it 2 in a row. 2 balls and no strikes to Harold Baines. The Sox are leading 5-2. They've had a pair of 2-run homers hit tonight by Baines and Fisk. Guillen drove in the other run with a sac fly. High fly ball left field into the corner. Drifting over there, Young, and he's got it. So the leadoff double by Williams goes for naught, and in the middle of the 7th, the Sox lead 5-2.
Griffey hits it foul up by first. Here's big number 3, who had a couple of hits in the first game, so that's encouraging. And he knocked in a run. The Mets had 2 bursts in that first game.